What do we have for Aries, please? Eight of Swords, Gemini energy at the foundation of the reading, Aries. Aries, before the reading, I heard the devil knows your name, but calls you by your sin. And God knows your sin, but calls you by your name. Now, with this Eight of Swords coming right out at the foundation of the reading, we're speaking on some sort of restrictive energy that you no longer resonate with, Aries. I feel that a lot of you have gone through awakenings in your life and closed out some karmic cycles that have seen you elevate and become a greater version of yourself. But there's individuals, I feel, that you're having to leave behind, Aries, that want to keep reminding you of all your shortcomings that you've left behind, things that no longer hold you back. You've grown. And this seems to be a really big problem for certain individuals, a certain environment. It could even be psychological, Aries, okay? That little devil on your shoulder telling you that you can't do something that will see you graduate on to a new timeline. Eight of Swords is an energy of restriction, but it's all self-imposed. You don't actually need to be there, which really speaks about what I feel a lot of you have been exposed to. It's like you've just been dealing with individuals' terrible treatment of you. This treatment could have led to you having a poor relationship with yourself. I mean, it usually does, right? When people are projecting this kind of negativity onto you, it seeps into your subconscious. And then without warning, you may hear some of those words, those statements that they've said to you rattling around in your mind when you're on the precipice of some sort of elevation or when you're needing all of your confidence to pull through some sort of win for yourself. All of a sudden, you hear these words creep up from the depths of your subconscious. Now, this statement that I mentioned in regards to the devil knowing your name but calling you by your sin is telling us that individuals are identifying you based on your shortcomings, your missteps, your mistakes. So it's very important right now, Aries, that you're strengthening your faith and your connection with Source, the divine, whoever you consider your supreme being to be. Because like I said, God knows your sin but calls you by your name. Says it all. So to simplify everything I just said, Aries, you need to be around supportive energies, individuals that are adding value instead of taking it away. What do we have at the sacral, please? Hierophant, right there at the sacral. So we just mentioned the divine God, and we get the Hierophant, which is representing God in this case at the sacral, Taurus energy. There's this very restrictive energy that I'm picking up around your reading right now, Aries. It's almost as if you can't think when you're in the presence of these individuals. Their energy feels very heavy and very slow. And I feel that this is really speaking about the need for you to take stock of your environment and clean house, so to speak, Aries. And the reason for all this is because you've closed out a cycle and you're being prepared for something new. Now, that really says a lot because we're starting to see here that in order for you to get to the next level of the game, something or somebody's needs to be removed or sacrificed out of your life. Could most certainly be a person that needs to be removed. It can be a behavioral pattern. It can be a mindset. It could be all of these things. Typically speaking, it is, because one thing leads to the next. The toxic relationship may lead to a toxic behavioral pattern that you pick up, which affects the relationship you keep with yourself. And now we have this trifecta of restriction that has glued itself onto you and is stopping you from moving forward. You see, it's very difficult to see just how much someone or something is holding you back until you actually move on from it. That's when you really get a wider vantage point and a deeper understanding of what may have been taking place. It's spiritual in nature. It's all meant to psychologically, very interesting, I just heard psychologically bruise you. I've never said that before, but we're going to go with it because I feel that that's going to resonate with somebody out there. There's an energy here, Aries, that needs you to need them. There's an energy here that wants to make you feel that you're a bad person because you won't put up with their terrible treatment towards you. Textbook narcissism. This person feels like they know it all, that they're God's gift to men or women. This is what I'm picking up here. I'm also hearing something around an individual that is hyper-focused on their physical appearance, but they're completely empty on the inside. You know, I've recently felt quite a big shift in timelines, Aries, and I feel that a lot of people are starting to restructure their values. Things that you may have once been attracted to just aren't that cute to you anymore. We're moving into a timeline where we're measuring people's worth on the depth and value of their spirit. I can totally relate to this, Aries. We live inside this material world. Everything is based on image and materialism. Typically speaking, the initial attraction that we have towards people is physical, and there's nothing wrong with this, but you're starting to really change it up. It's like you want something real. You want something with depth. Now, this is always attributed to the kind of awakening that we have in our lives, right? This is one of the easiest ways to recognize the fact that you've gone through an ascension is because your taste for things have completely changed. You're not responding to certain things the way you once did. And because of this, Aries, there are some energies inside your environment whose feathers you have really ruffled. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Wheel of Fortune. Sag energy at the solar plexus. So, confirming everything we're saying here, because the Wheel of Fortune is the energy of life cycles. A turning point. It's a destiny kind of energy. This is what you're heading towards. See, we're looking at the imagery like we're behind it. We haven't reached it yet, Aries. We're heading towards this new timeline, this new cycle. This is representing the process of awakening. It's like a new script is being written for this new timeline. You see, you have the angels there writing in your Akashic records, right? The wheel turning over the devil, which is just really representing everything you're leaving behind that is no longer in alignment with your highest good, or rather you're starting to realize that it never was in alignment with your highest good. This Wheel of Fortune coming out at the solar plexus is really speaking about you taking back the power in your life and it leading to these new doors opening up. This is an energy of good fortune, a lot of good karma on your side. This is you gambling on yourself, Aries. You can never go wrong with gambling on yourself in a situation like this. I'm also hearing something surrounding you moving the opposite way to what these energies were expecting from you, right? Which really speaks about what I mentioned in regards to them highlighting your shortcomings or this past version of yourself. They don't know how you're going to move anymore. They can't predict your moves. And this is what's driving them so crazy. And I feel the reason why we're being made privy to how your moves are affecting them is because it's serving as confirmation that you're on the right path. You're actually seeing the way people are reacting to the way you're moving, which is confirming to you that you are moving the right way. Otherwise, why so much focus and attention on what you're up to in your life? It's like it brings some sort of exposure to them. I'm also hearing something surrounding individuals not liking you breaking through restrictions that they themselves were not able to overcome. This is called generational karma. This is a black sheep kind of energy, Aries. I know this one well. You're accomplishing what others before you were not able to do. Unfortunately, we'd like to think that our family or friends or whoever this may be would support us. But because it's spiritual in nature, people find this highly threatening. You don't get any support on this path. Very rarely. I've never personally heard of it. I've never experienced that in my own life. There's something about generational karma and the path to breaking it and to being a solo mission. A lot of the times when we're going through these kinds of cycles in our life, Aries, we'll hold ourselves back until we start to feel supported, which speaks about you moving in a way that appeases other individuals, right? It's like slowing down your own awakening so that other people don't feel a way by witnessing your awakening. Holding yourself back for other people's lack of effort in their own spiritual growth. Wow. It's like limiting yourself as not to make other individuals feel bad about themselves on their own path. Very, very dangerous. This is like life and death, right? And the reason why is because you have a mission. You're here for a reason. There's nothing more important than you aligning with whatever that may be. You don't know what's connected to that. You don't know what you stepping into your mission can trigger globally or in other people's lives. There's no way of measuring this. So this is why I say it's life and death. So it's very important you understand, Aries, what you may be holding yourself back from in order to appease another and their own lack of growth within themselves. What do we have at the heart, please? Four of Wands. Aries, that is your energy right there at the heart. A lot of you don't even know what you have waiting for you on the other side of this Wheel of Fortune, right? Like I said, this is you heading towards this new timeline. It's as if you get to the other side and you have this moment of realization where you start to understand how truly dangerous it was to hold yourself back from where you're at in that moment. You know, every move we take in every moment, Aries, aligns us with different outcomes, possibilities, and timelines. I think we all know this out there, but this particular decision here is monumental. There's more connected to this than your mind can even begin to conceive. It's one of these situations where one move you make in your life can determine your entire future. One move. And it's connected to this person, these people, this situation, this behavioral pattern, whatever it is for you. And I feel the need to say, Aries, that you won't have to think very deeply about what this is. It or they is right underneath your nose. I'd go as far as saying that it's the first thing, the first person, situation that you think about when you're listening to this reading. You shouldn't have to force this reading to fit if it's for you. But this one is going to be very obvious to you. Now, this doesn't mean that the action of releasing said person or thing, behavioral pattern, whatever it is easy by any means. Oh no, this is never easy. It's very difficult. And this is why it comes with such a monumental shift. For some of you, this could quite literally mean a move. And then I have the Tower, Aries, Scorpio, Mars energy on the bottom of the deck. What do we have at the throat, please? Five of Cups, Scorpio energy at the throat. And I feel that this is picking up on what I said earlier on the reading about recognizing the value of individual spirit, right? It's like there's this new sense of self. And so now when you're looking back on your path, you're starting to see things a little clearer. Right? It's like looking back and wondering how you didn't see it, how it was hidden from you. It's so clear to you now. There's so much clarity, but when you were wrapped up in the situation, you just couldn't gain enough perspective to see what it was you were really dealing with, which is what's giving you this new sense of understanding surrounding what I mentioned into recognizing individuals based on the value of their spirit. And in this Five of Cups, we can see there's 3 cups here, 2 cups here, right? So it's like recognizing quality over quantity. Five of Cups is also ruled by Mars, which is your ruling planet, Aries. It's a very transformative energy that I'm picking up here. It's like you're breaking down these old structures of your mind. I also just heard very clearly you're no longer playing these childish games. That's going to mean something to somebody out there. But I sort of see that here as well, right? You're turning your back. I mean, we have this cat, right, just kind of playing around here. This to me represents the person, the people, whatever it is, right? It's no longer cute to you anymore. What do we have at the third eye? The Sun, Leo energy at the third eye. Aries, there's a lot of success on the other side of this current timeline for you. The Sun, it's just the most high vibrational, positive card in the tarot. And it's coming after all of this, right? I just heard you're not even going to know yourself. And it's one of these energies where you won't believe that you didn't do it sooner, right? because of this perspective you have now. I'm also beginning to feel this draining energy again, right? It's like whatever this is here is just trying to suck your life force out of you. This is all going to go away. It's like as soon as you move on from this, you have this rush of energy and you just feel completely revitalized. What do we have at the crown, please? Four of Cups, Cancer energy at the crown. There seems to be this theme that is not only coming through intuitively, but coming through in the cards, Aries. There's a sense of deep dissatisfaction here. It's actually quite overwhelming, especially with this Five of Cups and Four of Cups here. Four of Cups is an energy of apathy. It's like you hold this new sense of self and a new kind of value towards life that whatever this was here just does not fill your cup, so to speak, anymore. I'm also hearing this person has become boring, right? It's like their drama, their constant bickering, their negative view on life is just absolutely mind-numbingly boring. But for whatever reason, they can't seem to compute why it is that you don't want to be involved or around them any longer. This individual is unaware of themselves, absolutely lost inside their own narcissism, lost inside the matrix. They don't see life the way you do, Aries. You've evolved, you've grown. And by all accounts, they've seemingly de-evolved, which I feel is the result of trying to hold you back. See, people don't know how dangerous it is to try and stop somebody from evolving and leveling up in their life. This is a very dangerous game to play. And it's because of what I mentioned, right? In regards to your evolution of self being connected to things that we just simply could not even begin to measure, right? So let's say that your evolution, right, your awakening positions you in a space where you help other individuals. Those people go out and help other individuals and on and on and on. It can't be measured, right? Now think about how many lives are attached to all of that. So one person's actions towards you can have a monumental impact on the collective at large. Now think about the horrendous karma that they would have to pay back for that, right? Somebody's got to pay it. They have a debt to pay for that. Maybe they succeeded at holding you back for a period of time. I often wonder if people actually think about the trajectory of your life and where God is taking you to, and now calculating the karmic repercussions that they may face by standing in your way. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, but why is it that people don't stop to think about things like this? And I guess, Aries, the answer to that comes down to the fact that there's us and there's them. What do we have at the foundation, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the foundation? King of Pentacles at the foundation of the reading. This is confirming everything we're saying here. Very greedy, ruthless kind of energy. It's like they don't stop to think about the repercussions of their actions before they take them. Very controlling, very domineering. It's all about divide and conquer. That's it. And whenever I get this card, it's funny because it's like this person is sideballing you like, over my dead body will Aries step into that new timeline and be the best version of themselves, right? For a lot of you, this is a family member. Well, I'm picking up for a lot of you, it's somebody you were in a relationship with, a family member, and a friend, okay? It could certainly be work-related as well, but overall, it's just somebody who doesn't want you to be better than them because of the threatening nature of the process of your awakening, right? Like I said, threatens people, makes people feel small. When people think that you have a deeper connection with the universe, with Source, your God, it makes them feel insignificant. It makes them feel unseen. But what they don't know is all the work you put in to actually have this connection. This doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of dedication and discipline that must be implemented to pull this off. I can say this with complete confidence because I've been through this. So I get it, Aries. Unfortunately, these individuals here, they don't want to put in the hard work. They think it should just be handed to them on a silver platter, which tells you how self-entitled they are. But as we all know, faith without works is dead. We live in a world that is working against us having faith to begin with. Hope is in short supply these days, but those who have the courage and the willpower to keep fighting to attain that hope are met with tremendous reward, because the universe knows that we are living through very dark times right now. So you will be propped up. Somebody's got to be used as an example to get other people to wake up to this. So why not you, Aries? Huh? This is what this is all about. You're lifted up to a level that no one ever thought imaginable. And now they have to live with watching you in this position and live with themselves for the weapons they formed against you on your climb to the top, whatever that means for you. And on the bottom of the deck, I have the star. Now, this star is different because I read it as a negative polarity. So it's an energy that is void of faith. It's a very hopeless kind of energy, right? It's an energy that's saying, go ahead and hand over that hope and faith to me, Aries. You won't be needing that, right? Confirming everything we're saying here. Page of Cups, Stolos, and its negative polarity. Further reiterating what I said about these individuals being self-entitled, right? Little baby owl with a crown on their head. And I just heard green with envy. It's like they have their eyes all over what's yours. And it's almost like they're in shock. Like, oh my God, look what, how did Aries do that? That should be mine, right? This Page of Cups is a very emotionally immature individual who I feel has been given every opportunity that you've been given, but they squandered it all. I just heard this is somebody who refused to have an ego death. You're not going to get very far if you can't get through that, because that's typically the first part of awakening. The ego death. You being stripped of all the illusions that you've manufactured around your identity. I'd say that's probably the hardest part of awakening as well. That's the first step. It's painful, realizing that you're not the person that you always thought you were. That's a manufactured version of who you are and what you came here to do anyway. However, there is a point in the process of awakening where you start to realize that who you really are is so much better than that manufactured version that you created around yourself. Or it could even just be the way you were raised, right? Well, for these people here, self-entitled, so maybe they were just raised badly, made to think that everything would just be handed to them without any work. But again, your true identity is always light years beyond who you think you are before the process of awakening. Trust me. We all sell ourselves very short once we realize who we really are. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? 6 of Wands, Leo energy at the solar plexus. See, Aries, this path that you're on is triggering a chain of events. 6 of Wands here is representing a kind of fall from grace. By all accounts, this is what they wanted for you before you even got there, right? So a version of this becomes their reality. Oh, wow. This is a bit deep, but what I'm hearing regarding this individual or individuals or whoever this is for you, when you step into this position, they're actually going to think that you took it from them, that they were meant to be in that position. That's the identity that they are constructing around them, that everything you have was actually meant to be theirs, and that it's because of you that they are having to fall from grace, or it's because of you that their life is not where it should be. What they wanted for you becomes their reality. They've aligned themselves with the timeline where they are consumed by their own lies. They believe their own lies. We create our reality. So they're creating a reality that is now lying to them because they have been living a lie themselves. What do we have at the heart, please? So we have the world, Vapula, disability and immorality. Look, there they are, right? It's because of Aries that I'm in this energy. Right here they are. It's like they have like a broken arm. With the other arm, they're holding on to this beast, which I feel is just representing the burdens they carry with them, right? Their beast of burden, which is really just this alternate reality they've created for themselves. But this particular world is speaking about everything I've said here. It's like they haven't learned their lesson. They don't get it. They refuse to look at themselves in the mirror and come to terms with the truth of who they are, who they've become, and the reality that they've created for themselves surrounding the illusion that they've constructed in their lives. So moving forward, they project all of their lack of healing onto you because you are the embodiment of everything that they lack in their own lives. Whew. Then we have the Four of Pentacles, Mizrael. It says right there, self-atonement, right? Everybody sees this, Aries. In this depiction, we have this angel, which I feel is one of your spirit guides, the divine, protecting you, grabbing onto this person, right? They're trying to flee, and the divine's like, no, you're going to watch. You're going to bear witness to Aries' greatness, and you are also going to now be seen for who you really are. This Four of Pentacles, this represents an energy of financial loss, different kinds of monetary difficulties that are going to start popping up in different areas of their life. It's just an overall energy of restriction until they atone for their sins. But this person, even though they could surrender and begin the healing journey, they will keep fighting against the divine, fighting against God, fighting against the natural order of the way things are meant to be. Some of them may not ever get past this, may just be how they live the rest of their lives. Unfortunately, I can't say that I've really seen people who commit these kinds of atrocities in other people's lives have come to Jesus and heal. They usually just double down. Because you have to think about the kind of person that it takes to do this to another to begin with. Their whole fear has to do with them actually facing themselves. That's their greatest fear. And a lot of these people, sorry to say, but they'd rather hit the grave before they actually repent for their sins. What do we have at the throat, please? High Priestess, Pisces energy at the throat. Aries, you're under divine guidance right now, and you need to know that you are on the correct path. If this reading resonates with you and you've been putting in the work, you're right where you need to be right now. You really have nothing to fear or be afraid of. And you also need to know that the divine is fighting this battle for you. Trust yourself, Aries. Your intuition is very strong right now. I feel that a lot of you are receiving downloads, maybe even in your dreams. If you're ever feeling confused, then you just need to take it to God, take it to the divine, take it to source, pray, meditate. You'll always feel better, and you'll come out the other side with more clarity. You have to remember that we live inside a matrix. There's distraction everywhere we look. We're constantly being bombarded from every single angle with distraction. So it's important to check in with yourself, Aries. Remember the messages, right? Remember this. Well, this is like a prophecy right here. I feel that if you take this channeling with you on your path as a reminder, it will help you get to the other side of this with flying colors. We all need to remind ourselves of who we really are, right? To break away the illusion of who this world wants to tell us we are. What do we have at the third eye, please? Knight of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy at the third eye. The Sun, Leo energy at the crown. Two suns on the table, Aries. Knight of Wands, Hauohia, God the good in himself. Protection, prevents discovery of secret crimes, saves exiles. So whenever I get this card, the phrasing on there is interesting, but what I feel that speaks about, what I get from that is that things that once happened in the dark or things that once happened behind your back without you knowing, you no longer have to worry about. It's like you have this built-in protection from the divine that's come through to save you from any of these weapons that may be formed against you. There's also this energy here where you're leaving a time in your life where you may have felt outcasted, right? I mean, we definitely got the black sheep energy in this reading, right? Surrounding breaking generational karma, right? Which can lead to an energy of feeling exiled, quite possibly by your family or whoever this may be connected to. But because of this perspective shift that you're now having, you see things clear. You see things in a way that you didn't see them before. You're starting to understand your place in the universe. What it comes down to, Aries, is that you've been given the sight to see things in a particular way where these individuals can't, right? And this is all a result of your dedication to Source, God, the Most High, the Divine, the universe, and all the work that you've put in to getting to this very point. And then we close with the Sun, Leo energy, Mihail, the vivifying God, restoration of life, protection from adversaries. Now we have two suns here, very positive energy. You can't get any more positive than getting two suns in one reading. One of them's at your third eye, one of them's at your crown, okay? So the third eye is all connected to your intuition and you seeing beyond the veil and holding this vision for your life and your path. And the sun at the crown position is speaking about your strong faith and this love that the universe has for you. It's also indicating this very wise energy that you're holding and also an understanding of how this is all going down to begin with, right? Like I said, perspective. So in closing, Aries, this is an incredibly positive, very powerful, deep reading that I feel if you hold on to can serve as, well, a guidebook on how you can navigate the terrain of your path moving forward. Aries, this is the message I have available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Aries. Take care.